All right, we'll continue this morning. Up next is the Sardis Lions and Coach Gene Hill. I think the 11th year now for the Sardis Lions is Coach Hill's head coach. 17 overall as a head coach, of close to right, maybe 17. It's your 17th year as a head coach.
Yeah, as a head coach,
and 11 at Sardis.
I think I did 10 at Etowah, so
okay,
maybe more than that. I don't know. It's hard to keep up. I run out of fingers and toes. So
all right, yeah. Coach Hill, would you introduce the young men at the table with you, and then give us an outlook for the Sardis Lions for this year?
Okay, be glad to. First of all, again, I'd like to thank all of you for doing this. I think it's become a good event. It makes it easier on us, and especially easier on you guys, and of course, recognizing the sport of football and what you guys do on Fridays and all during the year. We appreciate everything that you do. To my right, I brought Logan Edwards. He's basically a 4-year starter. Of course, wears jersey number 5, plays linebacker for us, be in the backfield some, most all special teams, and has been around a good little while. Seems like he's been there as long as I have. Played a good bit as a ninth grader, so we're looking for big things out of him this year. Great leader for us out of the 12 seniors we got. This is which all of our seniors are good seniors, don't get me wrong, but these are 2 of our leaders here on our team. To my left, Brody Samples, our quarterback. Brody's been around a while too. He played a little bit as a ninth grader in the quarterback position, has played some in the safety position, and is the man in the driver's seat this year, I guess you would say, for us at quarterback, and look for great things out of him. And some of you may have seen or known Brody committed to Snead State a week or so ago in baseball, so it kind of tells you what kind of athlete he is and what kind of competitor he is. And if you've seen him pitch, you know that too. But both these guys, proud of them. They're multi-sport players. You don't see that very much today. And so they put a lot of time in it, a lot of effort in it, a lot of work in the weight room, a lot of work off the field and in other sports. And glad to have both these guys on our team. Looking forward to this year, looking forward to getting started. Of course, last year was probably the craziest year that I've been involved in athletics in 35 or 36 years. I can't remember what it is. Due to, of course, the pandemic, that situation. As you know, pandemic hit us pretty hard, as it did a lot of other teams around here, especially towards the end of the year. But a lot of people don't realize that it hit us in the middle of the year, too, as Brody was one of our guys that had to sit out a few games right in the middle of the year. And when you have to make that change at quarterback or really any position, affected us a good bit. And I know he's really looking forward to getting back out on the field. I saw here the other day, his mother sent me a picture of when he was quarantined. He was watching a game or something somewhere else, and I know it really hurt this man. So I know he's looking forward to getting back out there as all of our guys. Hopefully we can stay free and everybody can stay free of that situation this year and get on to a normal year. It really hurts you when you see all the amount of work these guys put into it, and just have to miss one game is bad enough. But you know, having to cancel the rest of your season, walk in and tell guys, hey, you know, our season's over. But looking back at that situation, we made it up to the 7th ball game, and we get there, and we have another player test positive, and the thing it affected was our lineman. We had one lineman to be able to play the last 3 ball games, and of course that's kind of hard to do, putting guys in at a safety risk, that kind of stuff. But all of our linemen got quarantined. Just so happened one of the days our O-line and our D-line went together for more than 10 minutes, so it kind of hit us there. But anyway, we're looking forward to putting that in the past and moving to the future, and hopefully we steer clear of those things.
Coach, you mentioned you had 12 seniors, I believe, on this year's team. Talk about squad size, if you're happy with the squad size. And as I asked Coach Rob a few minutes ago, the strengths of your football team you think going into the season this year?
Yeah, we're looking at about 62 guys is what we've got right now. We've had somewhere in the neighborhood of 65, which we do a little thing different at our place. In workouts in the summer, we all work out together, all sports. As far as males go and females, our females, we have another weight room in the gym they work out in, but all of our male athletes work out together in the summer, and we have a set amount we ask them to attend This year, for our squad, I've asked them, most of the time we open it 2 nights a week, 2 mornings a week, ask them to make at least 2 up till we get into July, and we'll pick that up a little bit. But this year, since we were a little bit far behind, we upped that to 3 nights a week. So we lifted on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and just trying to play a game of catch-up, I guess. And going back to the COVID situation, a lot of people asked me, said, how you think COVID's going to affect teams as far as, the 5 months that schools were shut down and things of that nature. And in my experience, I said, well, if you've got a veteran team, it's not going to affect you very much because those guys have had a chance to be in the weight room and get to the strength level they need to compete at the level we do. But unfortunately, last year it caught us with a young team. It was which it is for everybody, bad timing, but we played 5 freshmen most nights. Those guys hadn't had those 5 months to be in the weight room. And, one example, one of our offensive linemen that started every ball game for us benched around 135. If you go the year before that, all 5 offensive linemen we had squatted over 400. And that's kind of odd. So that kind of is a gauge of where we were at strength-wise. So upping that to 3 nights a week this summer, and most of the guys have been there and really worked, and we had a good off-season program during school, have gotten a lot stronger, which I think is going to be a great benefit for us out here on the field this year. But as far as strengths, obviously, we had 7 seniors last year. We lost 7 seniors. We had some good seniors like everybody else does that we lost, but we got a lot of guys back. We've lost a couple of other younger kids that started for us, so I'm not going to say we just lost 7 kids, but we got a lot of guys back in different positions. But right now we're working those guys both ways. It's a little bit early to say how many we're going to play both ways. The fewer the better, especially in the line positions, but we are working them both ways, try to create a little bit of depth. But a lot of key positions, we've got a lot of experience as, Brody here in the quarterback spot, and Logan and all the linebackers. Most of the linebackers have been playing 3 years and back in the secondary position. We got a lot more experience that we did starting out last year, so I would say that would probably be a strength for us.
Hey, Coach, right here. After I was, able to play for you back in the 30s, it feels. It's been a minute. Hey, your mantra has always been toughness and accountability. Kind of talk through that process and the things you try to instill in this team.
Yeah, as Coach Rob, and let me kind of chime on what he said. This is a tough sport. It's not for everybody, and it's just number-wise, I don't know. I'm leery sometimes when I see teams that have a lot of numbers because I know the work these guys have to put in and how tough it is to play the game like it's supposed to be played. But talking about I think you start that in the weight room. That's where I think you set that tone. I think you find that toughness in the weight room and in the workouts you do, and we do some things in the weight room, some circuits and different things like that I tell the kids a lot of times it's more mental, trying to get them to go above and beyond what they would normally go, and that's that mindset that I think you take that mindset out of the weight room and then you apply that to the football field about being tough and the toughness. But just overall, I think you got to have that toughness to play the game, of course, and like I say, we start that mindset in the weight room. So try to instill that there, then carry it over to the field.
We talked last year when you reclassified. You have 4 that are basically Sand Mountain neighbors, and a couple, and the other West Point and Fairview of the Coleman area, not too far of a drive. So how nice is that to cut down the travel time?
It's been great for us. The region we were in before, of course, we were 4A. Our closest game was DAR. All the rest of our region games were in Huntsville or further. And also in that region, we had 4 private schools. And, so that made a little bit difference for us too. But as far as travel's been good, it's helped our gates. It's helped familiarity of our people knowing who we play, the kids knowing who we play, that kind of stuff. And some of the rivalries are back in our region, that we had normally been playing. So that's really helped too. But, overall, we've got a pretty tough region. You got to start probably at the top with Guntersville, who won the region last year. I guess they're the favorite until they get knocked off. And I know they got a lot of folks back. You come back down, and you got a good Fairview team who won a 5A playoff game or 2. So it kind of tells you the level that our guys, I know they've got a lot of guys back there too, so I think that would probably have to be two of the early favorites. Of course, Boaz, I think, is going to have a good team again this year. I think they'll be in the mix. And I'm not certain about West Point, how many they lost. They had a pretty good football team last year too. So, it's a tough region, week in and week out. I think anybody, let me say this about the region teams we played last year. I thought everybody in our region was much improved. From top to bottom, I thought every team in our region was much improved. And I looked at that to happen again this year. I think there's some quality coaches in our region, some quality programs. So look for that to be the case again this year.
This is for you guys, players, coming into this season. Now that COVID's not gone away, but some of the protocols and things have, and coaches talked a lot about how it affected you guys. Talk about your mindset, how much more confident you are heading into this season as opposed to last season.
Well, last year we can't really worry about last year. It's a new year. We have to get in the weight room and grind. And just looking at all the guys that we had come back this year, we're much stronger and faster than we was last year, or the young guys were last year. And our 12 seniors having a bunch of leaders is really going to help us.
Last year, I missed 2 games because of COVID, so this year it means more to me to get to, play a full season.
Staying with Logan and Brody, and I've asked the other guys, what does it mean to you guys for Coach Hill to ask you to come to Media Day to represent Sardis High School in your football team?
I think it's a big honor. He could have chose the other seniors to come in, but he chose me and Brody. So it shows the work we put in and the leadership we have.
It means a lot because out of 62 guys, he picked just us 2. So it shows that they look at us as leaders.
All right, those got one.
Okay.
Hey, Coach, how special is it for you to be able to coach where you grew up and come back home and do that? And I'm much like Jerry, I've known you for it seems like since the 30s, but just for you personally, how does that feel just on Friday nights to be there where you grew up and see the the familiar people and things like that?
Yeah, and that being strange, which I always lived in that community, and my girls went to school there while I coached other places. And I thought when I took the job 10 or 11 years ago that I'm going to go back, I'm going to know most of the kids or most of the daddies at least, that kind of stuff. But it was actually the direct opposite. Sardis is a really obviously growing place. When I took the job 10 years ago, we were 3A, in a mid-pack 3A. Now we're mid-pack 5A and still growing. Our middle school is packed. They're building a huge apartment complex on the highway, if you've seen that. So it's still a growing place. So a lot of the folks I didn't know, but talking about being special, yes, it was. It made it easier on me. When I went back, both my daughters were still in school, and of course they both play sports and cheer. So I was able to see more of their events, those kinds of things. I could walk off the practice field and walk to the gym, see them play. And any of these coaches will tell you that has children, you can't replace that, never will replace it. My oldest daughter's graduated now and in college. The youngest will be a junior this coming year. And again, she's at a play date today and hopefully get to see her play some here in a minute. So, all that you can't replace. So, it's been special for me. But again, it was a little bit strange going back because a lot of them I didn't know. It was new faces, that kind of stuff. But it's still where I went to school. Of course, obviously it's changed. Stayed in Atala for 25 years. And, went back to Sardis, didn't know how long. 11 years is probably a lot longer than I expected, but hopefully we're going to keep going till we can't. And it's been a pretty good ride. Going from 3A to 5A, guys, if you've never been a part of that, is different experience. And but our guys have handled it well. Year before last, when we had the full year, we've made the playoffs in 3A, made the playoffs in 4A and in 5A, and hopefully can continue building that for the future.
Coach, thanks a lot. Thanks, guys, for coming this morning. I believe you opened with Sylvania at home on the 27th.
Yeah, 3 out of our first 4 games are at home, so that's a plus for us too. We go to Glencoe. I was just talking to Coach Allred here a minute ago. We worked out that's our jamboree, so didn't do anything in the spring. We did the skill development, so we'll be in pads or in shells tomorrow. And go to Glencoe to play that fall jamboree, and looking forward to that.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, guys, for coming out this morning.
Thank you.